Welcome to ABC Racing. Today's challenge I'll be doing a look at me, which is using the Abarth 500 around the track Magione. This is one of the quickest and easiest challenges you can do. It took me only 3 laps to achieve the time, and that was without changing the setup. The only thing I had done was lowered the amount of fuel in the car. It's a good track and car combo, to be honest. The track is quite small, but requires a little bit of precision to get the most out of it. The car is a nippy little hot hatch, which just suits this track. It's not the most exciting car or track really to drive though, but it is good for getting your fundamentals right and just practicing your techniques. For anybody who's actually new to sim racing, it's a good combo just to practice your techniques and get some confidence and step up through the car classes rather than just go into the Ferrari F1 car that we all want to drive. So let's get into the hot lap. At the end I will show you a setup that is better for this car, and I'll show you that I managed to achieve a better time with the setup as well. As always, your hot lap starts before the last corner. You'll see here that I don't get the best exit out of the last corner. It's because the corner before I was too far to the left. I needed to be further to the right to get the best run into the last corner. Break in for the first corner when the tarmac changes colour. Go down into third. Try and keep it fairly tight throughout the corner, but you want a late apex to get the best exit out of the corner. Coming out of this corner, you want to get up to fourth just before the overhead advertising board. Brake now. Down into third and try and get it tight to the late apex. I missed that apex, and you can see I've got to get off the throttle so I don't run out of track on the exits. Braking at 50 metres before this third gear left hand corner. Make a late apex and stay as far left as possible. Feather the throttle, get right up close to the sausage curb for this right hander. Same again for this right hand corner, get it right up to the sausage curb on the inside and use all the track on the exit. Going up through the gears in a straight, we want to be going into 5th gear. I was still getting used to the car at this stage, and it was only at this point I noticed the shift up indicator on the dash on the left hand side, so use that as a reference for all your gear shifts. Coming up to your next braking point, you brake in between the 100 and the 50 metre board. Get the car into third as quickly as possible. Watch for the oversteer through these corners. Get it up into fourth and don't use too much inside curb for this kink. Brake now and go down into third. Need to stay as far to the right as possible for the best entrance into the next corner. Use all the curb on the next corner entry. These last 2 corners I've tried to straight line as much as possible, which means using as much entry curb as possible on both of them. Make sure to try and use all the track on the exit in the last corner. Go up through the gears and across the line, and that's it, another gold achievement. Not particularly happy with this lap, but it is the lap that did the achievement for me. So I've put up on screen now the setup that I used. You'll see that I lowered the fuel to 9 litres and everything else stayed the same. But as I said, I'm not happy with it. I don't think this is the video that I want to put out to show you guys what is the best way of learning this track and this car combo. So I'm going to go out and do a few more laps. I'm going to change the setup and I'm going to come back and I'm going to add it to this video, so you can see a better hot lap and a better setup. So here it is, here's the better setup for you. You can't change the gears, so the tyres. I've got slicks hards on. The tyre pressure in front is 19 psi, the left rear is 21, the right rear is 23. Fuel, I put 5 litres of fuel in, which gives you 4 laps. I left the ABS on 1. If you wanted to practice your braking techniques, you could turn it off. Other than that, there's no real advantage. With aero, I've turned it down to 0. There's no point running a high wing in this car with this track. There's just not enough corners to warrant it. You'll just lose time. Onto alignment. I got camber in the front at minus 3.4. Toe in the front of 4. Camber in the rear minus 2. And toe in the rear set to 8. With drivetrain, I've left the diff power at 30 and the diff coast to 45. Generic brake bias I put down to 72 for good rotation on braking, and brake power 100. Suspension, I put the anti-roll bar in the front as stiff as it'll go. The wheel rate I put to 90 in the front. Height I lowered to 4 in the front. The wheel rate in the rear I put to 70. And the height in the rear I lowered to 8. And the anti-roll bar in the rear I put to 8. The stiffer anti-roll bar in the front helps deal with the curbs and the bumps, which this track is quite bumpy, and you are using a lot of the curbs around here. So as promised, here's my new hot lap, where I've got that set up on, and I get a 1:23.328. I'm not going to talk you around the lap again, you can compare this lap to the other one. The lap isn't perfect, there's still time to find round here. I'm still getting used to the car because this is only another sort of 5 laps. I mean, a lot of that was just tweaking the setup. One thing I did notice gained me time compared to my hot lap, this corner here, the left hand corner I take in the third as I said earlier, but then I drop it down into second for the next 2 corners, but I should have quickly flicked it back up into third and then back down to second in the middle of the 2 corners. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a bit different from my other videos, but my actual hot lap to get the goal time wasn't good enough, so I felt I needed to put out a bit more for you. But if you have enjoyed, please subscribe, like and comment on this video, and I will respond back to any comments. Thank you.